Wonderful. Now, many of you are probably wondering why so much war in the Book of Mormon. You have to understand that Mormon, the chief abridger, was called to be the chief captain of the Nephite armies starting in his 16th year, so when he's 15, and his whole life is surrounded by warfare. So he's seeing symbolisms and connections to our life all over the place, in battles and in strategies and in warfare. Here's the reality. He didn't just see his own day with war, he saw our day. And he saw the various battles and the struggles that we face today, not just against the powers of the devil and the powers of darkness, but against all kinds of issues in our world today. So consequently, he's saying, I'm writing this for you down the road. This will help you. Because whether you like it or not, we are at war today. If you turn over to the Bible, the very last book of the Bible, the Revelation of John, if you go to chapter 12 and look at the heading, it tells you that John sees the imminent apostasy of the church, and then towards the end of that heading, chapter summary, it says, John sees the war in heaven, and he sees the continuation of that war on the earth. We are fighting an extension of a war you already fought in and won, technically. We overcame with the power of the Savior and fighting with Michael the Archangel. We fought in that war and won the first time. But now the battleground has shifted. Now we're on the earth. We're fighting against the same people as we fought against up there. Only problem is we can't see them so clearly. So I love the fact that the Book of Mormon helps us have a lens wherewith we can see the enemy very clearly. Some of you who really don't like war or violence, but totally fine, but you'll come to the war chapters and think, it's so painful to read these. If you just shift the focus from looking at the struggles as a physical thing and say, wait a minute, this is a spiritual thing for me. This becomes a handbook for my battlefield against the powers of the devil and against the struggles of mortality, and look for principles that can be applied. It won't take away the battle. It won't take away the war or the struggles that you're facing, but it empowers you to be able to go into those with more purpose and more power, knowing the enemy better. And by the way, you can't be neutral. You have to fight. The reality is we didn't start this war with the devil up in heaven nor on the earth. We don't like it, but we have to fight. We have to defend ourselves and our liberty as well as those around us. Keep in mind, the whole foundation of Satan's war in heaven and war here on the earth that he wages is to seek to destroy the agency of God's children. That's what he's trying to do. The war is over agency. Some other words that tie into agency: liberty, freedom. Those are the things Satan is attacking. So let's jump in. Chapter 43, our first little mini war segment in 43 and 44 is going to occur. And then there's a little interlude in 45, and then the full-blown war chapters really get underway in chapter 46 through 62, and then the summation in 63 finishes off our book of Alma. So let's start this way. Since we're looking at our war that we're fighting being simply a lens, this book becomes a lens through which we can see our own struggles. Let's look at the premortal realm again. This war that we already fought in, where you had the two who stepped forward when the Father asked, "Whom shall I send? Here am I, send me, and the glory be thine forever. Here am I, send me, and the glory be mine forever," seeking to destroy the agency of all of God's children, being that underlying motive.